So the project which we have explained yesterday, right? So I'm going to start it from today. So basic project I have created with standalone true. Okay, so we got this app config. Now, apart from that, now I have selected SCSS. I thought like we will implement that theme combination also, right? But I forgot to create that mixin and everything. So by for now, we will just handle by CSS only. Though this structure is with SCSS, but we are not going to create that variable and everything. Normal, same thing. It will be same thing like how we do. Variables are created over here like this. But again, fully in a full-fledged SCSS, we are not going to use. Just for theming purpose, I'm going to use. So you can see how I have created. First, whenever we have to implement normal and the black theme, so we need two types of CSS. First, for the normal CSS means label, text box, button. Means if normal mode, what will be your CSS for the button? In dark mode, what will be CSS for your dark mode, right? So these are all normal CSS. Again, I have used ChatGPT also. I don't have that much hands on the CSS part. So these are very basic CSS for the normal mode. For table, button, label, text input, text area, select and everything. Then with dark mode. So you can see all the classes of the dark mode start with body dot dark theme like this. See dark theme h1, dark theme label, dark theme input, text area. Means these are original classes. And apart from that, if we apply a dark mode, so our body index.html, we will add a class to that body here. We will add a class over here. So like that, dark theme.table, dark theme.table th, everything classes will change. Okay. Now, so these are the classes which I have created. Now in app component, I have just created a normal variable like is dark theme true and false. And in this variable, in this function, what I'm doing, if it is a dark theme, I'm choosing this class and I'm adding it to the document.body, means this index.html body, I'm adding this class. Okay. So currently this is true. So if you see over here, wait. Okay, let me run the application. Okay, 4209, it is already running. So this is normal mode. If I change this variable to false, now you will get to see the dark mode. See. So the color combination, label, everything will change. Understood what I have done? So if you see over here now, if I see the body tag, see this class is getting added over here. And based by this class, we have a hierarchy of different classes. That's because it is looking like this. Let's say if we see label. So see, this class is getting activated, dark theme dot label. If we say text box, dark theme dot form control. And if we go with the normal mode, so you will find normal classes applied. See that body, no class is there now. And all the elements classes are see the normal one without the dark body. Understood? Guys.
Yes, sir.
Okay. It just, we have created set of classes with, if we add a class over here, dark body, and we have created classes like that. Dark theme dot for every element, whatever the element we have created different classes. So if in the body we have this class will be added. If in the body we don't have dark theme applied, so the normal class will be added. Means by default bit in primary, whatever the color we have from the bootstrap, that will be added. Understood?
Yes.
Okay. Now, so again, like it's UI I have created basic UI. So that I have pushed to you to project template. Dashboard, Supriya has created the UI for the dashboard. Apart from that, basic UI I have created. Again, I have created this UI by ChatGPT only. So first will be the login page. So this will be the login page we will be using. Then first will be like student. So student, we will have a card over here like that. And here from here we can edit and here we can delete. On and click of add student, we will get the model pop-up, a text box with icon. Okay. Then this is student. Once we create the student, next will be and sidebar we are going to use. So this is the sidebar. Here we can see collapsible one sidebar we have. Okay. Then what was there? Batch list. Again, same as the student batch list, we will show it over here. Okay. And create batch. So new batch. So whenever we have to create the new batch, UI will be like this. Here you will have the batch form, and at the bottom you will be able to see the student enroll for this batch. Okay. So these are the basic UI I have created. Again, we are going to need the some more UI, but we will first start. Okay. So again, like it's an admin application. So what basic things we will need? It's not a website application. It's an admin application. So what things we will need? How many components we will be needing for starting? Guys, how many components we will be needing if we are talking about admin kind of application?
Login.
Create the student.
Login, registration.
No, registration. See, this application we are creating only for a dedicated client, right? So
Just login.
or just login, right? But I said it's an admin application. So if we have to implement the login, how many component I will be needing?
Dashboard.
Yeah,
Two
dashboard.
components, two. One for
Login.
login, one for layout.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
layout now where we will keep our navbar, right? So let's
Yeah.
create two components. ng generate component. First will be our login component. One more extra component which will act as a parent component after the login. So that will be layout.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's move our login code over here. Login. CSS for the login. Okay, let's copy. CSS will go to our CSS file. Then we need the HTML. So this is the HTML. Okay. So login HTML code we have copy pasted. After component creation, we have to create the route. Correct? So first route will be, what should be our first route? Guys,
Default route.
default route. Okay. Default route will be with empty. Redirect to property. Let's say login and path match strategy with full match, comma, then our login path component, login component. And we need wildcard route also. How do we create a wildcard route?
Double asterisk.
Double asterisk symbol.
Right? What's the purpose of a wildcard route?
Path is
Not-
done and
If
that we have
Not
to show.
found component.
No, but what's the purpose
path
of?
is
When the page is not, when the route is not available.
Yeah. So if user manually tried some path in the URL and that URL doesn't exist, means that route doesn't exist. So it will navigate to that, whatever the component we say on the wildcard route. Okay. But wildcard route should be at the end, should be the last one. Why is it? Why?
Otherwise, everything will go to this path.
No. Yeah, that's the reason. But why we are keeping it at the last? I'm using login components only. Yeah? Why do we need to keep wildcard route at the end?
Otherwise, it will match with everything, whatever they are typing, even with login, even with the
Yeah,
default
but why
entry.
it will
Yes.
match with everything? We have, let's say we navigated with the login, right? So login should match, na? What is the theoretical part behind that? You are saying it is correct, but why?
Order.
Yeah. So whenever routing happens now, so router will process all the route based on the order. That's why we need this route at the end. Understood? It's an intro question, like how routes get processed based on the order we have it. So that's why wildcard route should be at the end. Okay?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. And we need login. So again, it's an admin kind of application. So let's say I'm giving here admin and component will be layout. Okay. We can put empty also over here, or we can provide a name also. If we provide name, our routing will be like admin slash admin slash. Okay. Children. First, we have just created one route for the dashboard. Fine. So these are the basic routes which we have created. Let's save and let's check if we are able to see the login page by default. Yeah, so you can see login by default, it is navigating to the login. But in the admin component, I have this, so that's why this page is coming. Now let's remove. Now in app component, what should I have? What should I have in app component?
Router
Router
outlet.
Just router outlet. Okay. What's the purpose of router outlet?
To render the activated route.
Activated route component.
Component, yes.
Be specific. It's a very small definition. And even inside that also, if you're making, forgetting to add a component, it doesn't look
Yeah.
good, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now it is not coming properly because when we copied that CSS, it had the body class. But now in our component, we don't have body, correct? So for that, what we can do, whatever the class body has now, we will replace that with the parent div. Okay. Now, whole our form, whole our HTML, we have to wrap it up inside a parent div. Then body class will be replaced by this. Okay. Understood what I did? We copied it from the HTML. In HTML, we had the body tag, but in our component, we don't have a body tag. So we have just created this body. We have just replaced that body with a class. And in HTML, we have created a parent div with a div with parent class. Understood?
Yes.
Okay. Now, so again, Sonu, do we have login API? No. Sonu is there? Supriya, did you check? Do we have login API?
No, I didn't
No,
check
no?
the login API.
I think no.
I think we don't have.
Yeah. Okay, so we will go with the hardcode login. Now, what do we mean by hardcode login? What do we mean by hardcode login? Quickly.
Like username
Yes,
and password, you
direct
will say.
user ID and password.
Right? Here
To
only we
manage.
will compare it. Okay. So login obj colon any. Let's say username empty. Password colon empty. Okay. So we have created object. Now this object, we are going to use the template form. So forms module we need to import. Can anyone try? See, everywhere we are going to use the forms module, correct? In every component. So it's like unnecessary thing now we are doing here also, here also. So try to create a module, and in normal module, try to create a module, and we will use that module over here. So what are the common imports we are going to need in every component? Now that module we will import it over here. Okay. Whenever you get a time, now someone can please try that. I also didn't try, but I think it should work. Okay. Anyone have tried like that yet?
No, sir.
So just give it a try. What's that? Username. Password. We don't need this. Remember login. We don't need this also. Do we have form tag? Yeah, so form tag is there. So name attribute is there. Let's just replace this. Password, password, password. Okay. I will be providing the access of the repository. Someone can take the responsibility to add the validation and everything. Okay. On login. Okay. So again, if login object dot username is equal to let's say admin, and this dot login object dot password is equal to 1122. We will allow him to log in. Again, we need to do the login. So from .ts, how do we redirect to some another page?
Navigate.
Right?
Router.
We have to inject
In-
router.
No, router.
Inject router. From which version we got inject?
From Angular 16.
16,
16.
okay? Not 17, 16 only. What's the difference between navigate and navigate by URL? Both are same. Navigate and navigate by URL.
Different. By URL, we can
Difference?
directly specify the path, and navigate, like we can pass parameters.
Array it needs.
Yeah, correct.
It will accept array. Okay. See, this is navigate by URL. Okay. If we want to do the same thing by navigate method, navigate. See what it needs?
Array.
It's
Array. Okay.
Mm.
Square bracket. What will be the first element?
Path.
Path. Okay. After
Path.
that,
URL.
let's say after that, what else we can send it over here?
Parameters.
Parameters. Let's say you have one parameter to whatever the parameter number you have that you will pass. Okay. So this method you will use when you have to pass the parameter. Okay. But if you have to navigate directly, you can use. Again, it's not like by using this also we can navigate with parameter, and by using this also. But normally when we have to navigate by the parameter, now we choose navigate method. Okay. So alert. Supre, you can try in this that PrimeNG, okay? Try to install
Ah.
our PrimeNG with the version you have used. Let's
Okay.
see if it works.
Actually, I found the issue like we don't have any issue. If we need to add few files like Bootstrap, we add the CSS file in AngularJS, JSON.
Mhm.
We need to add some file from PrimeNG also in Angular.json styles.
Yeah, after that also it was not working. I tried that.
Okay, because yesterday I was installing PrimeNG in this project.
Mhm.
I was getting error because I didn't add those CSS in Angular.json. When I
Okay.
added it, it's worked.
Okay, fine. So we are able to navigate to the layout. So let's try again. Admin/1122. On click of logging, we are navigating to the C admin/dashboard. But we are able to see layout works component. Layout component is getting loaded. Dashboard component is not getting loaded. Why?
Because it's a children.
Right?
Dashboard is a
Because
children.
dashboard is a children of layout. So by default,
Mm.
layout component will load. If we have a router outlet in layout, then your dashboard component will load. Correct?
Mm. Mm.
We need the sidebar. So this is the sidebar code.
Got it.
So sidebar HTML we need. This we will put into our layout CSS and HTML. Here I have used this, but we can use that icon from our, do we say, font awesome also. Okay. Here you need your router outlet. We need to add the import also. Let's save and check. Why it is behaving like this? Do we miss something? sidebar. Mm, wait. I think I didn't added angular.json bootstrap here. That's why. Okay. Again, we need to compile. If we make any changes to the angular.json, again, we need to compile. Let's run it to 4209 only. So now which port we have allowed? 4209 only, na? Why it is not able to find font awesome? Let me check if font awesome is there or not. Font awesome. Okay, I think I didn't install font awesome. Okay, let's comment it for now. We are not going to use for now. Yeah, now it's coming. But if you see the UI, the JavaScript UI, this okay. So this was happening with by using the JavaScript. Let me show you the code of the JavaScript also. Okay. So you can see we have this button toggle sidebar. On click of it, that sidebar was getting hidden and shown. Okay. So see the code. What we are doing it over here, just see for 2 minutes, and can anyone explain me what we are doing it over here? Just see the JavaScript code and what we are doing it over here. Same thing we need to do in Angular also now. See, as a Angular developer, we should be at least basic should be clear of JavaScript also, because there are so many libraries where we get the code in JavaScript. Now same code we need to convert it into Angular also,
On click, we are adding and removing collapsed class.
right? On which element we are removing and adding,
Sidebar.
right? See, we are adding and removing two classes, sidebar also and this content also. See?
Hmm.
Okay. So now this same thing we have to do, means whatever we are doing by JavaScript, dynamic class, we have to do by Angular also. Okay. So let's close everything. Layout. Okay. So we have this button. So now we don't need this click event. So we will add a click event, toggle, sidebar. Okay. So we have two divs on sidebar and this content. Okay. So we just need to add a dynamic class. So now in Angular 17, from Angular 17 standalone component, if you have to add a dynamic class, instead of using ng class, is there any another way? I don't want to use ng class, because if I have to use, I need to import it also. I don't want to unnecessarily import that ng class. What other way is there? How we can add a dynamic class?
We can use like a property
Right?
class.
We can make use
angle
of a
bracket.
property also.
Property binding.
Okay. What was that dynamic class? So they were toggling collapse with what they are toggling. Let's see the so we have sidebar class currently. If I click, okay, so this class only we need to add it dynamically. Okay. So see, if it is collapse, we just need to add this class. If it is not collapse, just the sidebar class. Okay. So same functionality we need to do. So condition, we need one more variable. So now it's just a normal variable, right? So can we use signal over there? It's a normal variable now. That variable we are going to use it over here. Instead of creating
we
a
can
normal
use
Boolean
signal.
variable, we will use signal. Okay. So is what we say collapse now is sidebar collapsed. Okay. Is equal to signal. What type of data we can store? We can provide the data type also to the signal.
Boolean.
Boolean. Okay. I can provide the initial value also. By default, I will assign
True.
it true. This is how we
Yeah,
created
true.
the signal. How do we access the signal in HTML?
With
As a
parentheses.
method.
As a method. Okay.
Mm.
So now here I said property binding. So class. So can we use this also and this also?
Mm.
Can we use
Yes.
this and this also?
Yes.
No.
No, I think no.
See,
Because
every
it
element will have only one time,
Oh,
na? Either
yes,
static or
override.
dynamic. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah.
So we need to remove this. Okay. Now, if this signal has a value true, then this class, otherwise this class. Okay.
Mm.
So if this has a true value, then we need sidebar class also, and in else we
Col-
will need sidebar and
Collapsed.
collapse one. Okay. Now we need to remove this. And in content also we need to do the same thing now, because it will have that width also increased.
Mm.
Why it was increasing the width? Okay, let's add it. Same thing. So here, content. Let's save and check. Okay, no, we didn't change the value. Okay, now I need to change the value of this signal. How do we do that? How do we change the signal value?
Dot set with
Method.
Right? So this is our signal dot set method.
set method.
What I have to set it over here? Not of, right?
Mm.
Not of same. Okay.
Mm.
Let's save and check. See. Sorry, here only we are checking. Understood? Working same thing.
Mm.
Everyone clear? What we did?
Sir.
Yes.
Okay. Now, so this is done. Let's add some route also. Let it be route I will add later.
Explain the signal once again.
Signal is like we got it from 17, na?
Yes.
Right. So just like a normal variable, you can say, but it's a state. Okay. You cannot use directly equal to value to replace the value. You have to use set, update methods are there, which you can use. Okay. Fine. So login and this complete is these things are completed. Now what we can do next? Let's complete the student first or batch first, because see, now student can be registered from 2 pages. We need one page where we will be having the student CRUD also, and we will need again enrollment is also there, right? So see, now it's just a logical question. So this page is also there from where student can register. Again, while doing enrollment also, can student be registered? Let's say you are the owner of that application, or you are going to use that application. Let's say a new student came to your office. What you will do? First, you will go to the student page. You will create the student. Then, while enrollment, you will search that student. Is it a good method, or here only we should have that student detail also?
No, I believe we can have a reusable component to use in both places.
Yeah, but still, no, you didn't get my question. I'm asking.
No, we should
No,
get the
it's not
ID
used.
ID here directly.
No,
Only one time is enough.
no,
Yeah.
you're not getting.
Otherwise, we will have to go 2 steps. We
Yeah.
have to register first, and then we have to enroll it.
No. Yeah. So if we have a dedicated student page, obviously we are going to have this page also. From here also I can add the student. But let's say a student came to you. Okay. He is not already in your student database, and he wants to register for a batch. Okay.
Yes, there is we can make another way that the form should be sending data to 2 tables at the same time.
Yeah. So in this form, in the enrollment form, we should have the student detail also. So once I click on enroll, first student will be created, then enrollment will be created. Now got it what I explained?
Yes, clear.
Because why I will go to the student page, first I will create the student, then again I will come over here. Unnecessary thing, na? Whenever we
Yes.
create an application, we have to think from the user perspective. With little bit mouse use and with little bit keyboard click, he should be able to use our application.
So we have to put existing student or new students here also.
Yeah, see, again, let's say from our student, we will keep something unique. If you provide the mobile number, right? And if student is already registered on that mobile number, data will automatically pre-populate. But if it's a new student, you will create a new student. Understood? You will have a, I didn't add that mobile number over here. Let's say you entered the mobile number. And if on change of that mobile number, you will query your API, like get student by mobile number. And we will pass the mobile number. If mobile number is there, we will fetch that data and we will populate the data, existing data. Okay. But if it is not there, we will on click of enroll, we will save that new student first and then we will create the enrollment. Understood?
Yes.
Yes.
So there we will add that check.
Right? So here we will need the student details also. Okay. So first this student page we will complete at the end because it's just a normal CRUD. First we will create the batch one, because in the batch we will have the but I think we don't have API. Sonu, we don't have API like that, na, for enrollment. We just have student ID, right?
Yes.
Okay, I need to change the API also. Okay, let it be. So first what we will do, we will just complete the CRUD operation of the student. Okay. So, shall we do with template
So
or
for adding the batch, right?
no, batch is there, but in enrollment we have a student ID only, na? We need a API where we can pass the student detail also and the enrollment detail also. And in that API you will write the logic. If student is not already exist, you will create the student and that student ID you will use in the enrollment save. Got it?
We have enroll ID in create enrollment.
Yeah, yeah.
Enroll ID and student ID and batch ID.
Yeah, so student ID is there, na, but we don't have student detail. I'm talking,
Okay,
I
okay,
need
yeah.
one page,
Mhm.
this, where I will have the student detail also. So on click
Mhm.
of enroll first, my student will get saved and that ID I will use in the enrollment also.
Mm.
Understood?
Yeah.
Everyone clear what I'm, because I don't have the URL, so you might not be able to relate. Everyone getting it now?
Yes.
Okay. So API is not ready. So first we will complete the student form. So we will go with our template form. Okay. So let's create the component. Sorry, a reactive form. ng generate component students. Okay, one thing we forgot. We need to have, we didn't add that button over here to change the theme. Okay. We'll do that later. Let's first complete the CRUD operation. Okay. So basic UI is already there. So let's copy this. Guys, please be on mute. Please be on mute. So these are the CSS for all card. It is going to be same. So instead of putting it in the student component, these are common CSS. So this I'm putting it into our style.css. Okay. Then we need the UI. Okay. This is also there. Header, this div and the model. Let's copy HTML, paste. We didn't create the route. Okay. Now, okay. So as we don't have, we have a routing like that, admin slash. So when we add the navigation in layout, we cannot directly use that anchor tag, means directly our route name. We have to provide route name like admin slash, okay? Because our routing structure is like that, admin slash student, okay? We cannot directly use student to navigate. We need admin slash. Again, we need router link. Okay, this question got asked to someone from Angular 17 specific. So in my HTML, I'm using router link, okay? Router link is equal to some route, okay? Let's say in our case, admin slash our route name, that is student, okay? Spelling is also correct. This route is also present, but still on click of it, I'm not able to navigate. What might be the reason? Route is also correct. And here also I have written it correctly, but I'm not able to navigate and no error is also coming in the console.
Because we not import the route link.
Right? So if you don't import the router link, you won't get any console error also. You won't understand. If you forgot to add that, you won't understand also like why it is happening. Okay. So just follow the one rule from Angular 17. Whatever you are using, we need to import it. Either it is router, outlet, ng model, anything. Okay. So router link. Okay, in HTML somewhere we have @ symbol in student page. Okay, where we added. Okay, now tell me what's happening. If I'm clicking on, let's add, where is our route? Just observe and tell me what is happening. If I'm clicking on student, see what's happening. First of all, which route is getting loaded now?
The default one.
No.
Login.
Wildcard route it is loading. This is wildcard route. See.
Okay, in wildcard also we have passed login.
Same component we have used in wildcard also. But why it is navigating to wildcard?
Because our path is wrong.
So what should we do?
Admin.
Right. So we have got 2 times admin. So what is wrong we did?
We can remove the path name admin from there, or we can remove from here. Yeah.
Okay. Let's try to remove. Okay. If I click on student, getting it? Because we are already over here in this path. What was? Okay. So we are already in that path. Admin was already there. So again, if we are adding admin slash na, so it will again in the URL, it will add that admin. Okay. Suraj, don't use that. Okay. So that's why we just need to use this student. Okay. Now coming back to the student component. So we are just going to do the normal CRUD operation. Okay. So how many function we need for the CRUD operation? How many component we need for the CRUD how many function we need for the CRUD operation?
Edit, delete.
One for the get, one for the edit, right?
Yeah.
Approx 5
For the
function.
add.
Delete.
Okay. So we need to get the service also, right? Let's create service also quickly first. Again, we will need model and everything. First, we will create the constant. Okay. Export constant. Now here we are going to create. Have anyone used? See in validation. Remember, like in every page, for the required, this is required, we put in every HTML. But that is unnecessary, na? Or repeated code. In every component, wherever we show the validation, we write this is required, this is required. That is unnecessary, na?
Yes.
That is nothing but repeated code. So how we can avoid that?
Or create dynamic component, I think.
Custom validation.
Yeah, that is also one way. Another way. Another way. Guys,
File we have to add the
delete
delete
here-
it from API.
see, here I will put validation message. Okay. Required message will be this is required. Okay. So in my constant, I have a message. Now how I show this required message into my HTML? This is constant, right? Where can we use constant? Where we normally use constant? In .ts, na?
Calling, yeah.
In
TS.
.ts we use either it is service, component, or pipe. We use it in the .ts only. But can we use constant in HTML directly? Can we use constant directly in the HTML? No. So how we can use it?
Assign it to a variable and that variable will do with interpolation.
Right? That is one way. But more generic way, because see, you will create in every component, you will create again one more variable. That is also unnecessary. Correct? That is correct way.
Yes.
You will create a variable and in that variable you will store the constant. And then you will use that variable in the HTML. But again, with this approach in every component, you will be creating variable. Again, one extra
repetitive.
unnecessary, right? What's the
Yes.
other way?
Create a TS file in environments.
Create a, no, but still the same thing. We cannot directly read the TS file in from the in the HTML, na? Even if it's a constant file or environment file is also nothing but a constant file. We can create a pipe, and in that pipe we will read the constant. And now that pipe I can use it in every component.
Okay.
Understood?
Yeah.
Okay, so we will do it tomorrow. First, let's create this. Remember, just remind me. API method.
Sir, for this project, payment also you are adding?
For this?
Project payment system also adding?
No. Payment system we cannot do with because to register over there, we need GST and everything information. That's why I skip everywhere. It's not like we can directly go ahead and integrate the payment gateway, right?
Sir, is there any free payment method available for practicing?
How you tell me how it will be available? If it is prepayment method is available, everyone will be creating fake application and start accepting the payment, right?
Yeah.
Right. Someone will purchase a domain of IRCTC something, and they will do a good SEO and start accepting the payment on the fake train, correct? So what we need, get all student. Okay. Then create student update delete. Okay. Again, just a standard. Whenever we create the constant, all our key name should be capital. If it's a combination of two words, use underscore to separate it out. Okay. Not sure if in your project they are following it or not, but whatever the projects I have till work, everywhere we use the same method. Okay. The API. So project API. Again, we need the environment folder also, right? So let's create environment folder. What's the command to create the environment folder?
Generate environments.
Right. One more question over here, which is related to versioning, right? From when we don't get the environment folder? Previously, we used to get the environment folder by default.
From 16.
right? 16
Mhm,
only.
16.
So very small changes, we got it in 16. Okay. Arrow function got, auth guard. Previously it was a service. Now it is arrow function.
Arrow function.
Same like that, interceptor also. We got it arrow function from 16 only. Okay. So as I previously also explained, no one will ask you all the differences, but something is there in each major version. Like 14 to 15 or 13 to 15 or 12 to, we didn't had major changes. But 16 was something. After that 17. After that 18 and 19. Again with 18 and 19 we don't have major. Little bit changes are there. Okay. So environment folder we have created. It has updated the angular.json. Okay. So in environment folder, we will keep, what is environment file? Again, it's just a constant file. Okay. It's just outside of the app folder. Okay. What kind of data we can put it over here in the environment folder?
Yeah, URL.
Again,
API URL.
again, what else we can store over here?
For fetching data, we are
See, if you are
Common
specific,
URL.
what
Common
type?
URL.
Yeah, that we said, na API URL, common API URL, you will store it over here.
String.
What else?
String.
What string?
Port numbers, secret keys.
Secret keys. Okay. In every application, we somehow upload the files and download the files, right? So let's say if it is AWS, we have S3 bucket. In Azure, we have block. So for AWS and S3 bucket, we have dedicated URL to read the file. So that file we will keep. In some application, we trigger the mail also. So we have separate microservice for the mail. So different APIs also we can use, right? So that also we need to keep it over here. Some libraries are there which can trigger mail from your front-end application also. So mail setting, your pop mail ID and everything related to environment, not just API. Okay. So many things we can do. So see, after having 4 or 5 years of experience, now they will be asking your question like this. And if you just say putting the API call, then it doesn't look good. Okay. Apart from API call, what else we can do? So you should have that answer ready. Okay. Now this is the common part. So this we will put into our environment folder over here also and over here also, as we don't have different environment. So in both the places, we will use the same URL. So out of this, which is the production URL? We have development.ts and environment.ts. So which will be production?
Environment.
Right? So this will be
environment.ts.
our production one. Okay. So let's get the method for the student also. Create student. This will go over here. I should have created this basic thing previously only. Get student. Update. Okay. We will, everyone knows like basic reactive form. How do we do that? Remember in the starting, I told you like instead of creating that reactive form in the component, we can create that in the service also. Remember I don't remember the session when I explained that. Anyone remember? I told like instead of creating your form in your component, you can create that into service also, right? So we will use that approach. So constant is created. Again, in API method, so this is to group just the API method. Can we again create methods like student like this, and all API related to student, we can keep it over here?
Yes.
Right? Again, we can have the student enrollment. All enrollment API method name will go over here. So this is the structure. This is the bifurcation you need to do. Getting it?
Yes.
Okay. So again here validation messages we will keep. Validation message. Then what do we need for validation? That we can store over here. That patterns, regular expression, right? Regular expression. What we can put it over here, regular expression? Let's say email. Email pattern we will store here. Aadhaar. Right? So even if you see, as I told you, right? Interviews are nowadays are very tricky and strange. No one is asking you to complete the basic CRUD application. They are very thoroughly checking. Anyone have used that one libraries, one AI tool is there which will verify your code. Does anyone know? We have an AI tool which will verify your code. Like instead of creating this variable or instead of creating this function, you could have done that. Like that means what your TL does. That thing now AI tool also can does. So now in interviews, whatever the code you do now, your code gets validated by some AI tool like that. And you get so many instruction like these are the unnecessary variable, unnecessary function, code smell, everything. Just like what do we get in the Sonar na? By just submitting your normal code to that AI tool, it will provide you the list of the suggestions. Right? So if you are creating like this now, so there are minimum chances that you will get minimum number of warnings or something. Okay? See, normally what do? We create a constant and everything we put it over there. But have a separate thing also, na? Then while choosing validation constant dot validation message dot required, if you need regular expression constant dot regular expression, what regular expression like that? Okay. So just have a proper hierarchy like this. Understood everyone? Why we created like this?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So in app folder, let's create services. Services folder. ng generate service. Let's say student. So all the API related to the student, we will keep it over here. Okay. Now for API call, first thing we need to do in app config, we need to import that provide HTTP client in the provider section. Okay. HTTP client got deprecated from which version? Sorry, HTTP is that HTTP client module. It's got deprecated. From which version it got deprecated?
19.
19 only.
Nine.
Okay. Up till 18. No.
No, it's
18,
not
18.
working in 18.
18. Only up till
Okay, okay.
17 it was
Up
there.
till 17,
From
yeah.
18 they have deprecated it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Means 17 this was also present. But you can use that also, HTTP client module also. But in 18 they have removed that. Okay. So these are the questions they have right now. Because everyone knows what is ng, what is ng-power, what is routing. Everyone is going to tell. So obviously interviews are going to find new questions. Na? So just be prepared. At least write it somewhere so that it will be in your mind. Okay. So this is the first thing in service. Okay. One more question is there. See, whenever we create the file, your spec file get created every time, even though you are using it or not. How to, while creating that, how we skip that? How can we skip that? We don't need this spec file. How to skip that?
Hyphen
Dot
skip
if
test is
hyphen
equal to
dot
true.
test.
So either we can, while creating something, we can skip that, or on a project level also we can do that. Right? So I think in angular.json, we do it somewhere. Try to find that. Okay. Where it is that? In some configuration, we can do that. Means you don't have to, while running every command, you don't have to again add that skip flag. So over here also you can do it. Okay. So just try to Google that. Now, so basically we are going to need 4 method again. So last time I think didn't explain. Now let's say you have multiple services. Let's say we created this service, then we will need enrollment. Then we will need our report also, or fees, or let's say payment. So many services will be there. Okay. In every service, we will need the object of our HTTP client. Correct? Here also we will need the object of HTTP client. In payment service also we will need. And in enrollment also we will need. So now what's wrong in it?
Uh, drive drive principle.
Hmm?
Encode.
Sorry?
We're using
Repeating-
multiple times like HTTP client.
Repeating code.
Right. So what can we do for this?
Generic service you have to create.
Right? So we can create one more service that will be generic. Okay. And there in a single file, we will have our single instance of our HTTP client. Okay. So that we will call it as a, let's say, generic or master, whatever the name you want to give. Generic. Okay. So what functions we can have in generic service now?
HTTP client.
Yeah. No, I'm asking how many functions we can have in generic service.
We can have the request functions like get, put.
Right. What type of different API call
delete.
you are going to do? Just 4 or 5 patch, right? So
Yeah.
get.
Is it like a generic repository pattern?
A small version of that. Okay.
Okay.
Now, again, like let's say, where is student? So if we create over here, get all student. Okay. I think we won't be able to start the component today. Let's create the model folder. Just pay attention properly now. What is that? Student.ts. Okay. So here, let's get it done. So this is our model. Okay. Let's use convert JSON to TS. Okay. So I have created interface for the student. Now in student service, here I have to return the observable data type, correct? Here I will write like this. No, what type of data I'm getting? Yeah, directly array I'm getting, right? From the service. From my API, I'm directly getting the array. So here I will write like this. And then over here, this dot HTTP dot get. Now environment dot API URL plus constant dot API method dot student dot get all student. Okay. So here we need to provide the return type also. Student of array. Why it is saying observable? Okay, sorry, required we missed. Sorry,
We
return.
need to return.
And function.
Okay. So if we don't have that generic API call, this is the code we have written. Okay. Now we are not going to do the API call from over here. HTTP object, we are not going to do it over here because we are going to create a generic service. So this we will remove. And in generic service, we will have this get API call. So now in every service, we should not use anywhere, correct? We have to either go with class or interface instead of using it any. Just a minute. Okay. Now here we know, like from this function, we are going to return this type of data, correct? But now in my generic service, remember the word generic, okay? So here also need to specify the data type, na? It's not suggesting observable. Yeah. What I will provide it over here. I don't want to use any. Return this dot http dot get, something will be there, URL. Okay. Instead of any, what can we do? We cannot use any, right?
Interface provide.
Which interface? Because this is your generic method. It somewhere, sometimes you, now this method you are going to use it over here. Okay. Let me complete. Now, instead of creating object of your HTTP client, you will use generic service. Okay. Now this dot generic dot get method you will use. So this is not normal get. This is just a function from your this. Okay. Why it is giving error now? Okay. We need the URL also. Okay. What I was. Yeah. So in student service, we are using generic service and then get function, and we will pass the URL also from over here. But here, instead of any, what we can use? .NET people, generic. What do we normally use in case of generic?
Undefined.
Type.
What is that type? What do we write?
I think we not denote with T something.
Right.
T.
So that T we use in .NET, we use that T, na?
T.
Right. So same thing we can do it over here also. This is a get method now. Let's create post method. That post. So over here, what do we say? Object of. How do we create? Like this only or something else? Anyone remember how do we do? Okay, this is. How do we?
Void T. Void.
No, not void. What's the syntax? Somehow we write. Wait, let's ask ChatGPT.
Directly T is used.
That also we tried now. It's not coming.
Yeah.
Generate.
Within angle brackets.
Angle bracket also it was not suggesting.
We need to specify in the class name somewhere.
Outside the bracket, we can use that.
Let's see.
Yes, with class name.
Okay, after this observable. Yeah.
Or with class also.
Where class?
At the top, the generic class
When you are creating
function, that class name. After that, we have to
here only.
yeah. Yes, that is what I was thinking.
So if we pass like this, T. So first we have to provide like this, then we can use that T. Okay. So
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so now it is coming proper. Okay. So this is saying like, because see, whenever generic, whenever in .NET or either in Angular also, creating generic functions means a functions which can work with any type of data. See, if you see this function is only going to return array of this. Means this function can process only this type of data. But this function from your generic, now it can process any type of data. Understood? So this is your generic service. The benefit of generic service, in a single place you have, now overall your application, you just have a single object of HTTP client. This is one benefit. Okay. Again, get, post, port, delete. Let's say if you're working on a major application, now in case of post, you need to send some separate headers, or you need to have some extra code to be sent. Let's say in some APIs now, you cannot directly send the post data with method. You send it as a, you will convert that and send it as a headers also. Okay. So all that code you will do in a single place. After that, again, after this also you will have interceptor. So means, see the hierarchy. From component, your API call will be going to the service, student service. From student service, it will come over here. From here, it will go to the interceptor. Again, vice versa, back also. Interceptor, generic service, service, and then component. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the
Sir,
generic.
that T
Sir, can
means
you explain the generic once again?
See, generic means you are creating a function which can work with any type of data. See the difference. In student service, you know, this function is going to return this type of data, student array. But
Yes.
this is a generic function. From all the service, you are going to call this function. So how, what data type you can keep it over here? Na? I said we cannot go with, obviously we can go with any, but we should not go with any, right?
Yes.
Instead of any, this is the generic thing we can use.
But what is the difference between both T and any?
Any is a dynamic data type, right? What's the error?
Syntax.
Array with T. We don't need the.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Array also not needed.
No. Yeah.
Just T is also enough.
Mm.
So the use case is like, as a rule suggests from TypeScript, we should not use any. What are the scenarios where we can use any? When we can use any, or when using any is allowed?
When we don't know the what type of response API giving.
Right? Only in that scenario we should use any. But here, in every function, we have to provide the return type, correct? What type of data you are going to get. Everywhere we have to specify the data type. So instead of going with any, we are using this T. T stands for a generic data type. Means it can process all the type of data. It's not any data type specific. Same work as the any also. Okay.
So it is same like we are breaking the rule of TypeScript, is it?
No, this is the actual use of TypeScript. As TypeScript says, we should not go with any.
Just we are replacing the word.
Right.
With T. Okay.
Okay. So now this, because TypeScript supports some of the oops feature, right? That's why some things, generic service, we have got it over there also.
Okay.
Okay.
So then we don't need then class also, right? When we using this.
Obviously, we will use it, no?
Why we don't need class?
Here, what you will provide? Right? Class and interface, you will need it over here. This is only limited to your generic. Because this is not related to any module. Right? This is not related to any particular module. Any API call, student, enrollment fees, anything it can come, na? So you don't know. That's why dynamic data type, that is T.
Okay, understood.
Okay. So from all your services, you will just integrate this generic service and then you will make use of this method. Okay. Just like we have done it over here. Clear?
Sir, yes. We have a DAO concept in Java, right? So
yeah, just like that. In Java, you might have that. In .NET, we have generic service, and in Angular also, it is similar to .NET.
Sir, my doubt is like we are having model, right? Model is having so many things related to student, for example. But when we are doing something with only a few variables of the student, so then that time we use DAO concept, right? In Java, for example. So like that, we have anything in the Angular we follow?
Forget about that. In .NET or Java, we create models, right? Models are responsible to deal with particular data type. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Let's say someone will ask you, you want to create a model you will have a function or a simple class. You have to create a class which will work with any type of data. You have to create a class. Inside that class, you will create some functions. Okay. But that function should be like that. It should be able to process any type of data. Can you do that in Java? When you create a function, let's say you have a parameter. Obviously, we need to specify the parameter, either data type, either you are going to get the string type of data or particular class or something. But I said you have to create a function which can process any type of data. So that's where comes the generic. Now in Java, you might have whatever you are.
No, I'm not asking about generic, sir. I'm asking about the models. Like, see, we having models, right, to tell the type.
Yeah.
But sometimes what happen now, we don't need all the properties of that interface. Okay. So that time, can we use like only? Can we create a TypeScript?
It
Sorry,
is called
can we?
DTO in
Yeah,
.NET.
yeah, DTOs. Sorry, DTOs.
DTO is something else. That is only that concept is this is totally different. DTO is something totally different.
DTO is
No,
different. Generics is different.
no, I'm not comparing, sir. I'm asking about DTO concept only.
Yeah, so DTO is a way to capture any type of data. Means when you are reading data from the database, there you create the DTO. Whatever the data you get from your SQL, you store that into your DTO. Then you convert it into a particular model. Correct? In
No,
ASP.NET, we
no,
used to
no,
do
sir.
that.
DTO is like data transfer object. Like see, for example,
Yeah, so from your
we are
database, you
restricting.
got one data and you want to convert it into some another data with minimum field, right? From your
It's like we are restricting the unwanted data. We don't want
Yeah, yeah.
unwanted data.
So from
Yeah,
your
like that.
table, you got 10 field, but you
Yeah.
don't need all 10 field. You just need 2 field. So there you use the DTO. In Angular
So-
also, we use the same thing as map operator. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is different totally, not related. Okay. Fine, understood. So we have just done the basic thing only, okay, today. Why it is giving error? Okay, so because we provided data type over there, no. We have to use super or what? Because we use T over here, generic of T. So if we are injecting this generic service over here, generic type C requires type of argument. Does it need super or what? No. Let's say ChatGPT. Okay, user I will pass over here. So in our case, we will pass student reference. Again, that will be confusing. Like this. Means in this function, we are going to inject this generic service. So with what type of data type we are going to deal this service? So that also we need to specify. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And here what it is saying, observable student. Okay. We need the return type also. Student. It's not suggesting.
I think so. We use generic there, na?
In generic
Because
also we should pass that array type of student data type.
We are just
Yeah.
passing field.
Student
There.
is missing in the following property type student.
Yes, in generic, when we are calling generic service.
Here.
In generic. No, in generic.
In generic,
Service.
in constructor, sorry.
Where? In this file or
Student
generic
is
service?
Generate service is
In
there.
generic, we already sent the student, right?
Not here.
Hmm.
In the component
In
we
component
can.
only. You have to pass the array that way.
No,
Line
component is
number
different thing,
line
na?
number 14. In line number 14, when we are saying the student data type, we should pass the array also.
No.
No.
But
No?
how then?
Yeah,
Just
because
need to
this is
provide the
called.
data type, na?
Yeah.
See the error. Error. We have ChatGPT, no? Why we are wasting time? We said like this. We will directly use the service into component. It is saying observable student. Okay. We added it over here in array. We need to remove that. Okay, now it got resolved. We had okay, so I think it was a array over here already. Okay. No, because we added it over here. Okay. So it is saying why it is expecting student of array. It is saying observable of single object is not assignable to observable of multiple. But where we have specified multiple, here also we didn't specified. Return type is T only.
In observable. In previous
In
one.
observable, sir, we just define.
That's why line number 19. Yeah.
No, but this function is going to return the array of student, na? So obviously we need to provide it.
Yes.
Okay.
So we need to, from generic also we need to send array.
We cannot. From generic we cannot send the array, na? Because get method is okay. Yeah. Okay. So see.
Get all and get.
Get all. This is get all, and we will need one more method with get single, and there we will use the single object. Okay. So here we will provide the return type of like this. And this will be a single, means whenever you are going to get all the record, you will use this. On click of edit, what we do the API call now, we pass the ID and we get the single record. So for that we will have this. Okay. Now it will work fine. Got it? What was our confusion? So normally get API call will have two types of get API. No? One get API, we will get all the array of data, and one
Multiple,
get API
okay.
call on click of edit, single record. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so because this when I created Angular 16 6 project, then that time only I have created this. After that I didn't see in this, so I also forgot everything. Okay.
Sir, hello. So for creating that much code, we can just only define in the get only student.
Yeah, here also you can write, no? If condition also you can write instead of creating this function. You're asking?
No. I just asking you why we just create for generic. Directly we can.
See, in every service you have multiple object of HTTP client. In every service you will have multiple object of HTTP client, na? Getting it?
Yes.
So to overcome that, we have created a single service where we will have our HTTP client object. Yeah, instead of generic, you could have created a normal also with any. Then we don't need to focus on this T also. Normal service also you could have created. But this is also a topic in Angular, generic service. So that's why I will explain. Okay. Fine.
Sir, you worked in so many projects, right? So in all those projects, you guys created a custom authentication system, or you guys used identity systems like Ping software?
See, if client is dedicated with Microsoft, they will want you to use identity. If client is not very fond of the Microsoft, they will be okay with JWT also.
Like most of the projects, what they are following, identity system or custom logic?
That's what I said. Both are same. Identity by default we get it in the .NET framework. JWT is third-party library. Both will work the same. It's based on the project requirement only. Someone will, some client will
No, I mean, most of the projects, what clients are saying, like what style they wanting.
We cannot say for sure. In Microsoft also we use JWT also, and we use identity also. So it's not like mostly what we use. We cannot say like that. As a front-end developer, we don't have to worry. It's a token. Either it is a JWT or we are getting it from the identity, right? We don't know, na? From Angular developer point of view, we don't have to worry about that. On API side, it can be identity or JWT. It can be anything. Or even if it is that, what is that? Windows login. What?
Windows login.
Active Directory login.
Yeah, MSL, Microsoft Authentication.
Yeah. It can be anything, but from our side, we just get the token, right?
Yeah, but in front end also we need to handle a lot of logic, right? Encryption, decryption, and caching. Like so many things are there, right? To handle. Yeah. When we use custom authentication system, we will get a lot of code actually.
Right. Row means rules and
Yeah.
you see? Something else we get, na? Rules.
Yes, sir.
Again, one or two things we send it and. Okay, fine. So tomorrow we will see that reactive form with creating in the service. Okay. Fine. Thank you all.
सर मला एक प्रॉब्लेम. हॅलो सर.
Sushil.net आहे का?
हो सर.
Can anyone help him? .NET people, is there anyone from .NET? Sanjay, Kamlesh?
तर प्रॉब्लेम असा आहे फक्त ब्राउझरवर ओपन होत नाही.
तर ते URL टाक ना, Swagger इम्प्लिमेंट केलाय का?
नाही.
मग API/ टाकून बघ ना, कंट्रोल API.
फोर एपीआयचं जे सेशन चालतं ना सॅटर्डेला त्याचं केलं तर मी रन केल्यानंतर मग ब्राउझरवर
Can anyone check his issue? Sonu?
Right now I'm outside, so it's not possible to.
Just check it from the
Can we
mobile
connect
account,
tomorrow morning?
Okay,
Yes,
Sushil,
no problem.
connect with Sonu. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. If not, now we will connect. Okay, fine.
Repo.
Yeah, I will send it.
Yeah.
Thank you all. Bye.